Welcome to the Vale, where the paranormal is our playground. We are the Phantom Pals, Nick and Leah. What are we
So
going to talk about today, Leah?
let's talk about our fun facts
Okay.
about death and dying. We're going to talk about, is it death or coma? All right.
Oh, okay. So we last month we did cremation.
Yes. This month we're going to talk about, are we dead or are we in a coma? So being clear, we don't want to be buried alive.
No, we do not.
We all know it, and it's common. It's a common true fear that
Okay.
some have, while others it's like a terrifying nightmare. They're just scared crapless of it.
Okay.
But for fun, I just want to do this for fun.
Okay.
Close your eyes.
Okay. They're closed.
All right. Now imagine waking up in a coffin and you've learned in your fear that you are buried alive. What is the first thing you think you would do?
I would probably push up on the lid,
To which you can't open.
which I can't open, and then commence to freaking out. Probably I'm so used to when I lose my phone now, like patting my pockets and just kind of, patting your
Looking.
body.
Yeah.
And I'd probably try to find my phone,
Okay.
which I probably wouldn't find. So hopefully I would calm down before I use up all my air.
Right, because actually it takes about 5 hours
Okay.
for your air to run out if you're in the sealed coffin and buried alive. So, well, even less if you're freaking out,
Exactly.
which would be like a common human thing.
Yeah.
You wake up and you're in this dark box.
I think I would worry if you did not freak out a little bit at first.
Right. So, I think what I would do is panic and likely die less than the 5 hours because it's not a fear of mine to be buried alive,
Okay.
but to be in a confined spot where you can't move because
Right.
you're in a coffin, so there's
Okay.
only so much space.
Okay.
So you can't move and you know that you are stuck in there and there's no way of getting out. I
Yes.
would panic
Yes.
and probably put myself into like a pass out mode.
Okay. Now, to be transparent here,
Yes.
um, this topic comes from this book.
Will my cat eat my eyeballs?
So I'm gonna pop that on the screen. So that is where we are getting this from.
Yes. Well, a lot of our information is coming from this.
Right. A lot of the topic is, and
Yeah.
then we are actually digging deeper into it. And how could this happen? Or could
Sure.
it? Or
And is it something that can happen now?
yeah.
So, like, good thing for us, we don't live in the olden days before the 20th century.
Okay.
That's a good thing. And doctors had less than maybe a flawless record of pronouncing death.
Oh,
With
you
that,
sound so positive there.
and let's be honest, like, they didn't have a very good record at pronouncing death.
No, they did not.
So,
Correct me if I'm wrong. Did graves at one point have bells in them so that
Right.
somebody could ring a bell?
if they were alive, yeah.
Because I remember seeing some horror movies, and the one of the scary premises to it was that when the teenagers or whatever it is, the of course the blonde one always dies first, right? I can't remember how that works.
Is it?
I don't know, but I digress on that one. One of them was bells ringing in the cemetery, and it was like an older cemetery, and there were bells on the gravestones.
That's really cool. It would be fun to find a cemetery that still had like these old bells.
It would.
That would be amazing.
That would.
Well, so here's a pretty fun fact, just for everybody to know now. And this may not come from the book, but it does come from my knowledge in being a medical examiner deputy medical examiner. But at this point in 2024, only a doctor, hospice nurse, or medical examiner can pronounce death.
Okay.
So,
So you're a professional at pronouncing this. So you know how to make sure they're not in a coma.
correct.
Okay.
Yes. All right. So I've pronounced many deaths in my job, and even if the death is known prior to my arrival. So, say somebody passed away in their home,
Mm-hmm.
and EMS was there, and they put on all the pads for the EKG machine,
Okay.
and there is no cardiac movement. They still have to wait for me to get there to pronounce the death.
Okay.
So the personnel on scene then waits for me, and I pronounce the death. And the death time that I give is the time that's typically reported on the death certificate, even if that person has known to been dead for maybe a couple
Okay.
days. So
Right.
say I walk in and body's decomposing or has
Mm-hmm.
decomposed, and it's still the time that I've arrived and I've pronounced.
Okay.
Okay. So some ways in the olden times that they were able to pronounce death, doctors were able to pronounce death, or they tried,
Okay.
was they would
I like how you worded that. Tried.
tried
Tried.
they would shove
Okay.
needles under toenails or into the heart or stomach. We're looking again for that pain response.
Okay.
They would slice feet with knives or burn them with red hot pokers. Again, pain response.
Okay, so hypothetical here. If you don't respond to that, I would think you are dead.
That's true. That's
Especially the hot poker.
true. That's true.
Cause
But your brain could still be active.
okay.
All right. They would try smoke enemas for drowning victims. So this is where they would actually literally blow smoke up your ass.
Is that where that phrase came from?
I wonder. We should kind of look into that.
Yeah.
So they blow smoke right up your rectum to see if it would warm you up and then make you breathe.
I'm gonna look down at my phone while she's saying some of these, and I'm gonna look this up. Just curiosity out of this.
They would burn a hand or chop off a finger.
Okay.
Or one of my favorites, because it's reminds me of Monty Python.
Okay.
They would write "I'm really dead" in invisible ink made from acetate lead on a piece of paper, and then put the paper over the face of the
Okay.
decedent. And then the inventor of the method thought that if the body was putrefied, like decomposing, sulfur dioxide would be emanating to reveal that message.
Okay.
FYI. It doesn't work. Don't try it at home.
Okay. I promise you won't try it on me.
I mean, maybe.
I did not like that answer.
So if you woke up or responded to any of these methods, you're alive. But you may be probably feeling a good amount of pain or missing a finger. Or perhaps that needle in the heart killed you anyways. So,
Okay.
not the easiest and best of methods, because if you're
Okay.
alive, you just killed them.
Okay, so let's see. Where does the phrase blowing smoke up someone's arse come from? Well, aside from let's see. Sadly, it's unlikely that it originated from tobacco enemas. Whatever. Smoke is the key word. Okay. Stage magicians do all the smoke and mirrors. So, okay.
Okay.
And at various times and place, to blow smoke or blow smoke in someone's face could mean to lie or boast.
Doesn't say anything about blowing smoke up somebody's arse, though.
No.
Huh.
It goes back to World War. Our favorite goes back to the First World War when British troops would hold a papier-mâché dummy over the trench parapet to attract fire to enemy sniper to determine their position. So a fake Tommy would have a cigarette in its mouth, and a soldier crouching below him would blow smoke out through a tube. So that's literally blowing smoke.
Okay.
So there you go.
All
There's
right.
there's one origin.
Okay.
Okay, that's interesting.
Has absolutely nothing to do with this one, though.
No, it does not.
Okay.
That's fine.
So some
still
fun short
fun.
stories to share. All right, so we're going to talk about Matthew Wall from Bryan, England, in the 16th century.
Okay.
He was thought to be dead, but his pallbearer slipped on wet leaves and dropped the coffin. Matthew awakened and knocked on the lid. He was released, and now on October 2nd, they celebrate Old Man's Day. Matthew continued to live for another 24 years.
Okay.
Another one that wasn't so long ago, actually, was from 1937.
That wasn't so long ago?
Come on, we're only in 2024.
Okay.
It doesn't-
Are we? We're in 2025.
Yeah.
You got
You're
that wrong?
right. Wow. It's still January, all right?
Not an excuse.
I think for the first 30 days of the month, or 31 days because it's January, for the first 31 days of the month, you're still allowed to say it's the year previous.
You know, it's okay to admit you're wrong.
Never. So in 1937, again, not so long ago, in my weirdness, I don't
Yes.
feel it. 1937 was all that long ago.
Okay.
Angelo Hayes of France was in a motorcycle accident, and the doctors did not find a pulse. He was pronounced dead. And reading into the story, he was pronounced dead on scene because he went headfirst into a wall. They didn't think there was any way you could survive that. He was buried quickly, and so quickly that his parents were unable to view his body. It was a closed casket because of the wrinkled mess that they didn't want to see their kid in.
Yeah, that couldn't have been pretty.
No.
No.
So because he was buried so quickly, the life insurance company had some suspicions. They also had suspicions because 2 weeks prior to his death, his dad took out a $200,000 life insurance policy. So they're putting pieces together and kind of wondering if he's actually dead or what was happening. Why wasn't there a toxicology report? Why wasn't there a medical exam or autopsy report done? So, upon investigating, examiners found that his body was still warm when they exhumed his body, as the insurance company directed that they do.
WTF?
He's still alive. So Anglo was in a deep coma, thus his breathing slowed, and it was so slow that allowed him to live for the 2 days that he was in the coffin. So that's how close to the time they saw him in the motorcycle and assumed he was dead, buried him immediately, and 2 days he lived in this coffin.
And he had no idea he did.
No idea, because he was in a coma. He went on to live his life till 2008. Again, not so long ago. And he invented a security coffin with a radio transmitter, a toilet, a small refrigerator, and stove. He went on to the Festival des Records Inventions.
Et Inventions?
Inventions. Well, it's French.
Yeah, et.
Is
Et.
it? I don't know.
Et.
In France in 1984 and stayed in his coffin that he invented for 30 hours underground to show that it worked.
Nice. So basically he built a bachelor pad coffin.
Yes.
So would that like have video games in it now and TV and stuff?
That would be cool.
I mean,
Would it even be a coffin then, or would it just be like this underground bunker?
I'd call it an underground bunker coffin.
Bunker coffin.
I don't know.
Well, the good news is if you fall into a coma today in the 21st century, you will undergo many tests to ensure that you're alive or dead.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So media, books, movies, Hollywood toss the term brain dead and coma interchangeably.
Oh, okay.
But the thing is that they're not the same at all.
They're not.
No.
Oh, okay.
So being brain dead means that your brain, your brain in your skull is actually dead.
Okay.
Nothing is happening. You, as a person, are actually dead. The brain cannot come back.
Okay.
You can't shock it to life.
Okay.
So when you're brain dead, you're losing your upper brain functions.
Okay.
That creates memories, your behavior, allows you to think, talk, walk, things like that.
Okay.
And then you have the loss of the lower brain functions that tell your body to do all your involuntary but life necessities. This includes like breathing.
Taking a shit.
Actually, you control that.
Oh, you do?
Your body tells you and gives you the signal that it needs to, but you control as to whether or not you're going to.
Oh.
Until eventually you just can't control it anymore and then you shat your pants and that was your fault. So.
Oh, shart. Yeah. Sometimes you trust a fart.
That's terrible. All right. Moving
But
on.
you're laughing.
So, breathing, blinking, control
Okay.
of the heart, respiration, your nervous system, temperature, reflexes.
Okay.
Anything that you need to do to survive that you don't think about on an everyday basis, your brain, your lower brain functions are telling your body to do that.
Okay.
So,
Makes sense.
all of this is being controlled by hospital equipment like ventilators, catheters, things like that.
Okay.
So, what your brain is supposed to tell your body to do and it's not doing anymore is because the hospital equipment is now doing it
Okay.
to keep you alive. So, either you're brain dead or you're not. No
Okay.
in between.
Okay.
So, with a coma, you're actually still alive. You will have brain function, and the doctors will be able to measure your brain function with the electrical activity in your brain,
Oh.
as well as reactions to stimuli.
Okay.
Your body will continue to breathe, your heart will beat, and the best part, you can wake up and recover from a coma, unlike being brain dead. So you can be in a coma, recover, wake up, and then recover from that time that you spent in this deep sleep. There's also doctors that will put you into a medically induced coma for recovery of something.
Like if you need a vacation from work.
Nope,
Oh.
They're not going to do that for you. Sorry.
Does FMLA cover that?
So medical tests that they do include checking pupils for reactivity. Pupils contract if a bright light shines into them. If the brain is dead, the eyes will not react.
Okay.
Okay. That's one of the things that I do on scene. I look at the eyes. Immediately open eyes, take pictures of them. Notice if there's going to be any pupil change when I look at the eyes. They can also drag a cotton ball across the eyeball. So blinking is a reaction and a sign that you're not brain dead.
Oh, okay.
So
That makes sense. Yeah.
I can't imagine a cotton ball going across my eyeball. That just makes me want to blink.
I don't think that would feel very good.
No.
No.
They test your gag reflex by moving the breathing tube. So you usually have like a breathing tube, intubation tube.
Okay.
They'll like move it around and try to get you to gag. If you gag, again, that's a reflex that your brain is saying to do. If
Okay.
there is no reflex, the brain isn't giving those signals.
Okay.
The EEG is like an all or nothing test. It detects electrical brain activity.
Okay.
And if there's none, there is brain death.
Okay.
They can administer the IV atropine. Your heart rate should accelerate when you get this medication. If it doesn't, it's another sign the brain is dead.
Oh.
So there are a few other tests that can be done, and more than one doctor has to confirm brain death. Only after these countless tests and an in-depth physical exam, one can go from coma to brain dead.
Oh. All right.
So now you have more than one doctor
Okay.
making this decision, and more than one test, and more than one way or two ways or very weird ways of finding out if you're dead.
Okay.
They're probably not going to put needles underneath your toenails,
Probably not.
and they're likely not going to stab you in the heart with a needle.
Okay. Good. Good.
Very good.
Good.
If a doctor does come in and tries to stab somebody in the heart with a needle, please stop them. That's not an accurate test.
Okay.
It's highly unlikely that you are going to leave the hospital in a coma and be mistaken for dead.
Okay.
So this is something that shouldn't be a fear, but could still be somebody's fear.
Right.
But realistically and logically looking at it, you will not leave the hospital in a coma thinking that you're dead.
Okay.
And let's be very clear, there is not a funeral director or medical examiner that can't tell the difference. All right, I've seen many dead bodies. There
Okay.
are significant signs to tell if a person is dead. I would say with 100% certainty, you cannot be buried alive by accident.
Okay. Good.
You can be buried alive on purpose, but I think that's a different episode.
So on purpose could be like, say you're married, your wife's
dear.
feeding you arsenic, and she thinks, and you basically pass out, and she thinks she gave you enough that you're dead, and then she has you buried.
That would be buried on purpose. Or,
Okay.
I mean, you could have ticked somebody off and they push you into a shallow grave and bury you. It's purposely buried alive.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay. That is a crime, right?
That is a crime. Don't do that.
Okay.
Unless you want to spend a lot of time in prison.
Okay.
And depending on the state death sentence.
I just kind of wanted to point that out because not a good idea.
Right.
It's not a good way to dispose of a person. So
I mean, if you need...
it's highly illegal.
Right. If you need ways to dispose of a body, come talk to me. I'm kidding. Don't come talk to me.
No, Google that. Just Google it. Just Google it. Government's not watching.
Right. Right. So that is our fun little episode of fun facts about dying. Are you dead or in a coma? And there should be no fear that you're in a coma and were accidentally buried. Not in today's day and age.
No. It's good to know. Very good to know.
Yeah. I could bury you.
Ma'am,
Okay.
I will haunt your ass.
You would.
Haunt your ass. Would haunt you so bad.
Okay. For funsies, since we have a little time left here, we've talked about what you would do or imagining being woken up and you're in a coffin buried. Okay.
Okay.
Now you're died. You're dead. You died.
You're died?
You died.
Okay.
You're died. So you died. You didn't make it. You realized you're in a coffin. You panicked. You scratched the crap out of the insides of the coffin. You didn't get out. Okay, you're gone. Who are you going to haunt and how are you going to haunt them? If you get to make that decision.
I would say an ex-wife, but I don't want to see them when I'm alive, so I wouldn't want to see them when I'm dead either.
Okay.
Probably mess with you.
How?
There's knocks. There's all kinds of things you can do.
Okay.
I'd probably just move all your stuff and just mess with you like that.
That would tick me off.
Yeah. You'd probably blame your kids. And they'd be like, I didn't do it.
Right. I think I would haunt... Well, unlike you, I probably would want to haunt the people I couldn't stand in life just to make their life hell.
I wouldn't want to be around them.
But I would get the pleasure of
Yeah.
really messing with them.
That's true.
I mean, I would come and haunt you too.
Okay.
The thing is you enjoy ghosts.
So
We go looking for them.
So I have a question here. Movie Beetlejuice. Right?
Okay.
We're not going to even go into the second one. We're just going to do the first one.
Okay.
So the family moves into the house, right? And the couple thinks they are alive. And all of a sudden they find out they're dead.
Right.
They are such a nice couple. They don't want to harm the family that's there, but they want them out of the house.
Right.
So they are too nice. And then there's Beetlejuice, who we can't say it one more time, otherwise, we're in trouble. Oh gosh.
Beetlejuice.
Okay. So he goes to extremes. What kind of haunter would you be?
I would be almost in the middle. I don't think I'd go to extremes, but I wouldn't be too nice.
Just enough to mess with them.
Just enough to make sure they don't sleep well at night.
Okay.
Like if I'm really that upset about you being in my house, even though I'm dead, yeah, I would mess with you to the point that you would go running from the house. You won't be injured. I'm not going to hurt anybody. But I would definitely make sure that your mental psyche is messed up.
Okay.
And if you like ghosts and you're like, this is fun, I would probably find a different way then.
Yeah.
Maybe then I would become like a Beetlejuice and go to extreme.
Okay.
But see, that's what you would do. You would love to have something haunting going on in your house.
Oh, I would love it. So would you. That's the thing.
So it would be hard to really scare you. You would be like laughing the whole time and going,
I would
"Damn
just
it, Leah."
irritate. I would just irritate you, just for the heck of it. That's all I would do. It wouldn't be to you'd love the fact that it's haunted, but I would be irritating you. You'd be like, you need to stop this shit.
I think I would make you mad. You know, you worked a whole 10-hour shift. You got to get up at 4 in the morning the next day. I would probably slam your door at like 2 o'clock in the morning.
Speaking of that, I've had that happen. So no, let's not.
Yeah, your door's shut on you.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And I don't think it was one of my cats. But well, I guess maybe I'll have to do an investigation.
It would be fun.
But I don't know if it's a good idea to investigate where you live.
Why not? Unless you don't want to find out.
True. Yeah.
Just an idea.
We have to figure that out.
It'll give us time to test out some new equipment that we're getting, because we do have an investigation coming up, and Nick was able to, or decided to, get a new toy.
Yeah. And this month we also are, well, we're actually recording this before February, but so we're headed to Heritage House
next weekend, which would be
Iowa.
January 6th or 17th, 18th, and 19th.
So by the time you hear this, that day will have passed.
Right.
But that's okay.
But there will be a future episode out about Heritage House, and we'll definitely go live, so those that follow us will know that we were there.
And we will probably record our episode of Heritage House at location.
Yep.
And February, we're going to spend the night in Brumder in Milwaukee.
Yes. Again.
And we're going to record there.
Yeah.
We might do the downstairs. What is that called? Where they did is that the stage and everything?
Yeah, it's
like kind of a bar.
Like the speakeasy.
Yeah, the speakeasy area. Might record in there. Maybe have a few cocktails with it. That might be
fantastic.
That might be fun. Yeah. So, and we're gonna do some on site.
Mm-hmm.
So
definitely keep following us and listening for fun stories. We're going to continue with our fun facts about dying, because why not?
sounds fun.
And we are going to have a fun episode of Creeps and Cocktails this month. We also have some history with an island in Wisconsin.
Yep.
And that's a fun story. And I'm going to let Nick tell that story, because he wrote it out and researched it and stuff.
That is one that I am redoing with Leah.
Yep.
And kind of just rehashing it and retelling it.
Yes, that's a fun story. I didn't know about that until I read your research.
Yep. And I actually kind of want to go to that location. So
same.
So it's a good deal. But thank you for listening. This is one of our shorter ones, so not as much of a time commitment. I didn't ramble on as bad this time. Make sure you like and subscribe for future episodes, and we are on Facebook. So.
Absolutely. Find us on Facebook under The Veil. You can friend us on there. You can also find us on Dead Squirrel in the Woods production.
No, it's Dead Squirrel
in the Wood Studios.
It's Dead Squirrel Studio now, right?
Yep, Dead Squirrel Studio on Facebook. And we'll be dropping the episode there too, as well as on YouTube.
Yes, we will. So thank you for listening, and I hope you enjoyed it.